and welcome to part 4 of our German Panzer Tamiya 135th scale tank group build. And if you're just joining this for the first time, probably best to hop into the playlist that I've created for this and go to the first video, which is the unboxing. You can have a look at all the details of the tank and play catch up, as we're up to part 4 now. And yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications button so you get notified, and the usual, give us a nice thumbs up if you like us, and comments. All your comments are welcome. All right, so in the last video we completed step 18, which was here where we had all the parts finished on the upper hull, including the mudguards. Quick look at it here. There it is there. We put this little piece on the side. The shovel goes under there. We're going to do that after. There's a little crank that goes on there. That's to be painted separate. So they're all pretty much ready to paint now, although there are other parts to go on here, which is what we're doing now. So in this video, I need to take off all these parts of the part step 19, which are vents and hatches. There's a few other little bits and pieces around, and even going into step 20, there's lots of pieces, including bits of track that need to be painted, and a few other things. But there are things that I'll be able to pick through here and take off. So basically I'll be taking off the sprue parts for 19 first, so we don't confuse ourselves. All right, so there's a few bits on here. They all look quite good, actually. These hatches are nicely detailed. They come with these little armor vents over the top of them. There's also, what else did I see? 64, so there's a little piece that go on the side of the tank. But anyway, I'm going to take all this off now. You don't have to watch me. I'll put it on. I'll fast forward through this and make it quicker, and we'll stop when I got them all off. All right, and I've got a nice little container here to pop them all into, ready to be all cleaned up. Okay, all right, let's pick up the speed a bit, and I'll get these pieces off. Okay, so done. Got all these little pieces off. Very nice little detailed pieces. I still don't know what that is there. Don't know what that is. Anyway, little hatches there, little covers there. There's a handle there. All these pieces. So I need to clean them all up. They will all go on except for that one, which needs to be painted separately and needs a decal put on it. Other than that, all the rest can, although that's a tool of some sort sitting on the edge of the tank there. And I thought it was a crowbar, but it looks really long for a crowbar. I guess I'm not sure what that is. But again, that will be something different, which is why I've got the little bit of a sprue nub there to hold it. So that'll be detailed up separately, and that'll go into my box of the little pieces to be detailed separately. Makes sense? So that will go into there, and that will need a little tag for that. That's step 18. Then we're on to step 19. So we go step 19, drop that onto there. That's what that is. Don't think, oh yes, and of course that will go in there too. I might, do I have to clean that up? Looking at the way that goes on, I might leave that little piece on there. Yeah, that's fine. I'll put that in there. Also step 19. That's it. Everything else can be put on the tank as far as I can tell. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so put that aside. And I'll clean up these parts here, and we'll come back when we start attaching these. Okay, all right, back in a sec. Okay, back again. Got all these parts tidied up now. Actually glued the vents on the top of here. So they can actually come off now. Well, actually they go underneath. So there they are there. Look good. I'm not too worried about the paint because this is going to have the grey undercoat. So anything that's in a recessed area like that, and if the brown doesn't get to, it's just going to create like a shadow detail under there. Just make them stand out a bit more. That's what I've experienced on my other models, so I'm sure it'll do the same on here. So that's that one done. I've trimmed up these, so let's bring over our upper hull and have a look. All right, so first of all, we need to turn it around the right way. Helps. And pretty much, it's interesting in the instructions, they label these left and right, but really, how could you make a mistake? They're completely different sizes and shapes, so you're not going to put the right one in the left-hand side. So we're just going to pop this in and check the fit. Oh, look at that. Okay? It's made for it. Literally. Drop that one in. That's great too. Shame you can't open and close them, but then again, there's nothing inside to see, is there? So yeah, they just get glued in like that. That's pretty simple. So we'll do one at a time, of course. Just pop that back out. And again, I'll be placing my extra thin on the underside of it. It's probably the best way. Yeah. So there's a lip on either side, on here and here. So all I need to do is just run glue down each side there. There is a gap at the back, but that's deliberate because that's where the hinge is. So there's a slight little gap, a very good detail. It just shows that that is a hatch. I don't know whose hatch that is. It says engine access hatches. Okay, so The crew aren't using these ones. These are engine access hatches. That makes sense. All right, so we'll turn this over and I'll do it for this stuff. Just touch that in there. Once again, just touch it in there. Hold it for the magic 5 seconds. 5. That should be about long enough. Perfect. Well, I think it's perfect. Now we'll leave the other hatch in. Same thing. This one has 3 hinges on the side there. There's a little lip on there. I don't know if you can see that lip there. I need to get a proper little pointing device. There's a little lip there as well as all the way around. So I just want to get the glue on there as well as all the way around. Let's see if this has a bit of a gap as well. So put that in. And not as noticeable. In fact, it's fairly even all the way around on that one. That's good. Okay. So we'll turn it over. Put our glue in there. So we're just going to touch it there. Touch it there. There we go. That little lip was on that side, wasn't it? There. Oh, I can see it. Yep. Good. The 5 seconds. 3, 4, 5 seconds. There we go. Done. What's next? Keep it in the right orientation. All right, so there's a hole here. See that hole there? And covering that hole is this little vent piece here. Okay, so that's probably just a way of getting air into the tank. You know, talking about getting air into the tank, I was watching a documentary. That's going to go there. That's fine. And I didn't realize part of the training for these German soldiers was to drive these tanks underwater, completely submerged. So they would attach a snorkel to the exhaust, I guess, of the engine. So that would be clearing out the top of the tank. And they drive these things completely underwater. And they were showing how they can't see where they're going at all. These tanks were not very waterproof, so they leaked. So they had to learn how to breathe. They had these really rudimentary oxygen masks. I'm not even too sure how they work, but that's in case the tank filled with water. And they used to have to learn how to get out of the tank if it flooded. And they worked out that about 30% of the crew training for the tank assignments failed in the underwater test on the tanks. Yeah, it was just that hard and that stressful. And you could imagine being inside, you know, something that weighs tons, going along a riverbed underwater, not knowing where you're going. You can't see anything. It's like a tomb, isn't it? So, yeah, amazing stuff. So now I'm just working out where I'm going to put this glue because I can't see where the holes are there. Let me just take this off again for a second. I see. What I might do on this particular one is use some of the Icky Sticky medium CA glue and just apply it in those dots because I can't get at from behind, you know. So what I have is my little notepad here. Bring it in so you can see, and I just use this where I just put a dot on there, tiny bit. We don't need much. And then my applicator is one of these. It's just a pen with a piece of wire glued into it. And literally, I've had this for, God, since I started modeling 2 years ago. It's still going. So I just touch it there. And we just go one touch like that. Another one in there. That's it. And at the bottom, that's it. That's the right way around. Yes. Drop that in there. And that's that's not how it's done. Get this right. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's fine. I think I did that on camera, didn't I? I can actually access the hole in there, so I might just give it a touch in there really lightly. There. And that doesn't want to stay, does it? Let me just make sure. That's where I want it to be. Tell you what, I will touch it with this. I know it's on the outside, but there. That's all. Give it the 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. She's on. It's good. Yep, it's fine. Now, we've also got a little hatch here, which goes, I want to see where that goes. Oh yeah, over that little hole here. And obviously that can only go one way as well by the looks of it. The way it's shaped, yes. That way. Perfect. It's just going to sit in there like that, isn't it? This one, you can easily put some glue in from underneath. Yeah. So I'm just going to hold that there. Tiny dab, that's it. And I use tweezers just to hold it down. Anything small like this, I'd rather use tweezers to hold it there rather than my finger, because you know this this glue, this extra thin, can, if it gets onto your fingers, you end up with fingerprints, and you don't want fingerprints. So this just reduces the chance that it's going to seep under my finger by using something like that. Yeah, I think that's on. Just check. Yep, it ain't coming off. I'll just do the same on this side. Just gonna go like that. There we go. And again, just hold it while I dab the glue in there. That's it. 2. Go like that. 5 seconds. 4, 5. She's on. All right. That's that. Now we've got a handle. Looks like a handle. It's got to sit up on top here somewhere. Where am I? Where am I looking? This end. We'll look at the right end of the tank. Okay, I see now. If you can see that, there are 2, tweezer pointing device, 2 tiny little locating spots there for that tiny little handle. Okay, and it's just going to sit on there. Well, it will, trust me. Now, I'm just going to I do want to test fit first to be certain. Yeah, that's fine. That's sitting on there nicely. So for this one, I will just touch this in the glue that I got earlier. Just touch, touch, very tiny bit there. And we'll just put it where it belongs on there. Sitting down properly, it's straight. Oh, that's it. First go was the best. If you're happy with the best, if you're happy with it, don't touch it. That's one thing I've learned. If it looks good when you first put it in, don't touch it. And I think that looks nice and straight. Yep. Okay, good. We're done with that. Move our pegs. That is it for step 19 that I can do at the moment. Yeah. I'm going to go down. Let's have a look first. Move this into our container. Out of the way, safe. Lids on. All right. So, all good. Step 20. There's another little handle. C4 handle there. Yeah. There's the lights. Or there's a C5 there. There's a light here. There's another light reflector or something at the front on there. These are things that'll have to go on afterwards. This looks like another handle here. It's two of them. And there's some other, looks like tracks go on there. They obviously will put them aside. So they'll have to be detailed. There's one piece F7 that goes over the top of F22, which will have to be detailed separately. That's interesting. Okay, so that's like a brace that's holding them down on the top of the guard there. And then we've got attaching hull parts 1, attach as shown, and it's a jack. Oh, this is the jack. Okay. I can't imagine that working too well in the desert, hey? You know, like, how would you jack up a tank on the sandy desert? I don't know. Anyone know? Put that in the comments, because that's just, I mean, even if you put something under to support the jack, it's still going to sink, hey? Still going to sink. And even the stones around a sandstone, and that's not very strong. That'd crack and crumble with the weight of this thing if you tried to lift it. Yeah. Ugh. I don't know. Unless you're on a road, that's fine. But if you're off the road, this jack would be useless. All right. That looks like a whole separate piece to build. And where does it go? Looks like it goes... it's hard to tell. I can't see where it's placed on here. That might be it there. No, they're the tracks. Oh, no, that's not it either. Oh, there it is there. Okay. And it has a couple of like U-bolts holding it down, connecting it to the top of that there. So that's another one where it's a tricky thing where the jack is probably going to be a different color. It's probably going to be iron or something. Although in here, there's no specification for a different color. So it probably will be just the normal tank color. And so are the braces. So it looks like we might be able to put them on. Yeah. And the little lights, of course, will have to be done separately and painted up and the colors put on those. anyway, enough talking. Let's get on with this, eh? We're up to step 20, and I will start another container because that one's sort of full now. And we'll work on our step 20 parts and taking them off the sprue and cleaning them all up. Let's have a quick check over the page. Oh, look at that, the tow cables. Obviously that will be put on after. I'm just looking at when the painting stage is here. We get down to here and we've got a bracket there for the spare wheel that goes on either side. So that can probably get put on and be sprayed while it's on there. This piece here has got a colour to be sprayed. I don't know what that is. I think these are sandbags. Sandbags. Just laughing because they're in the desert. They're covers. Tarps, probably. Yeah. And this thing, I'm not sure. A flare rack. Okay, a flare rack goes on the back there. No colour call out for that. So that can be put together and put on the tank before painting as well. All right, we're starting to build up lots of little pieces around, but hopefully we'll get to be able to paint shortly. All right, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I've got all those pieces off the sprue for step 20. I've left the tracks in there because they'll have to be, made to match the tracks on the tank. There's the other bits and pieces in there, the bracket for, I think it's a crowbar under there. They'll have to be done separately as well, so I'm going to keep them in there. As for all these things with the little lights on them, they are so tiny that I'm going to put them on the tank. I'm not going to leave them off and paint them individually. I mean, just one hair on my smallest brush will be enough to touch the colour in those spots that are required. I'll do that after it's on the tank, and that'll be one of the final little touch-up points I'll do. The hooks, they're done. The handle, that's ready to go on. So I'm going to put them on, well, we'll put them on now. I haven't built up the jack yet, but I will do that. And I'm going to look at some details of that and see whether that was actually the colour of the tank, even though it doesn't tell me to paint a different colour. Just seems odd that something like that would not be metallic looking, and obviously dirty with sand. But hey, maybe they painted it the colour of the tank too. In which case I'd be able to, once I put it together, there it is there. Once that's put together, I can put that straight on. Possibly, depending on the location and where it is, and if I can get properly painted around it and both sides of it and all that, I'd like to be able to put it on. Okay, anyway, so for here we need to pull the upper hull out again, and we've got it around the right way this time. Good. Now these are really tiny pieces here. We'll start with the little handles on the front. So on here we have one handle will go there and one will go there. So, and they're facing outwards in opposite directions, so not too difficult. That will go there, and as always it fits perfectly, and the other one's going to go there. We'll do it the same way I did before with a bit of glue on here. I think might be the best way. Oh no, actually use this. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'll just make sure that is, yeah, that is pretty much the only way. I do want very tiny bits, so we're just barely touching it like that. Just make sure it's down flat. Good, that's on. I'm getting to a point now where there's some pieces that can be knocked off. So, like for instance, this rail I put on here, it sticks out and it can, you know, it could catch on something. These definitely could catch on something. So I've just got to be aware and that they're there all the time. That's going to go in that one there, like perfectly like that. Just make sure it sits properly, that I have tidied that up well. That looks good. And we're just double checking the angle's correct. Just want to check under that. Yeah, see, I do need to just sand the bottom of that just to get that a little bit flatter. It wasn't quite at the right angle when I put it in then. So I use my blade. Just the smallest shaving across there. Where that'll do it. You see how that goes on there now. So yeah, with these handles on here now, got to be just a bit more aware. Ah yes, much better. Perfect. Touch that just a bit there. Oh, there's a familiar sound. Let me turn that off for a second. Okay, yes. So that was the guys at Buckman's Model Mania live stream about to start. I just had to silence that for a moment while I finish what I'm doing here, and I'll go join Eric and the rest of them, see what they got to, what they're chatting about. Gives me a break too, because it's, for me, it's right on lunchtime. Just touch this one in. Like that. Beautiful. There we go. You see how I mean they stick out? Oh, it's all right. I won't knock them off. I'm confident. And we've got a handle as well. Where's my handle? It's going to go. There it is. C4. Right there. So C4 goes. Position this right. So the handle's going to go just there. Is that right? Yep, right there. So we'll just do a quick little test fit. That. Perfect, no problem. And for this, I will get a bit of, it seems to be sticking to my tweezers. I need to clean them up a little bit. I'll use a bit of back on that. CA glue, medium, just a touch on my pad. There it is. Put these where it goes. Very lightly pull and there. Can you see that? Yep, good. I'll put my light on for my visors. Sticking to my tweezers again. There it is. Make sure that's straight. Almost is. Now it's straight. I might just give it a quick touch with this too, just to be sure. I don't think there's a hole in the other, no, there isn't a hole on the other side. It's like a little tiny indentation, just the smallest one, two, that's it. Yep, that looks straight to me. All right, that's good. Set that there now. There's the lights, which there is one going on the front there, the smallest one. Have I got this wrong way around? Of course I have. Turn that around. Okay. Ah, I see. Yeah, I'm at the wrong end. I was right the first time. Now I can't put the light on because it's on one of the fenders, which I have to paint separately. But I will put it on the fender. But the other one goes on top of the fender that sits here. So let's grab those. Just move that to there. So here they are here. And there's the location for it. All right, so this is going to be the one on the left, I think. Yes, for sure. And it gets the smaller one, which will go in there. So there's a tiny little, like a recess in there. Probably can't see that. That's all right. Where one of these little lights are going to go. And I'll tell you what, tiny as. Let's see if I can figure which way that's going to go. Oh, I see. So it's angled. Right. That will sit in there like that. You see what I mean though? After this is painted, the base color, take nothing just to touch the color that's required in there. I don't remember whether it was green or red, but yeah, that's simple. So what I'll do is, while I've got the glue, I will get my little personal applicator, tap that on there, like that, and then we'll put this there. Make sure it's in properly. Yep, there it is. Hope you saw that. Yeah. Now, I just want to make sure it's down. Oh. There we go. Take a look from the front. Make sure it's all straight. Looks good to me. Yep. And now I will just touch it with a bit of this. Very slightly. Back there. That's it. That's it. It's enough. So that's on, and then the other one will go on the other fender. I'll put that back in the box like this. This is the other side. And it goes on top. There's a location for it there. This one's a little bit bigger. But we're still talking millimeters. And that will go. It's actually got a hole in this one, so it's even better. And that goes straight in there. Just touch some glue underneath. So we know that's in the right spot. Make sure it's straight. Yep. That's it. Perfect. That's done. Right, so I won't have to mark them. Well, actually, I will have to make a note that I need to paint them so I don't forget. But they can go back in the box. That's done. And what else have I got here? There's another little thing here with lights on it. And that goes, right. So the first one we did, this one has a location point at the top where this will go. And this is just a matter of going pretty much like that. That's it. And it's going to sit exactly like that. There we go. She's straight, exactly where we want it. Looks good to me. There we go. Might just push it down just ever so slightly on that side. Yeah, that's it. Good. Now it can go back in the box. Right, so that's all of those. Now we've got these here which go underneath the jack that I'm going to build. So I'll just put these aside for the moment because haven't decided on where that jack's going to go in yet. But I'm going to take the pieces for the jack off the sprue, which I haven't done yet, and then we'll and put it together. Yeah, that can go back in the box. Being careful of all the little handles on there. Maybe I should put a little note on the box there saying, watch handles. That's all right, I'll remember. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. I'm going to take them off the sprue. I might put it together. We'll have a look at it. But in the meantime, I'm going to go watch this live stream just for a break and have my lunch. Okay. It'll be about an hour for me, but for you guys, 2 seconds. Okay, so I'm back and I've finished putting together the jack. So there it is there. I'll move this out of the way. I don't know how well we can see this. I'll have to bring the camera down a sec. Here we go. It's going to focus for me. All right, so this is the jack. Probably messed up the focus then. But it came up okay, and it looks like the clamps to go either side of it that hold it down onto the guard on the side of the tank, you can actually connect it to the jack, and that whole thing as a piece will sit down on the tank now. So that's that's useful. So let me just adjust my camera back again, 1 sec. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that's come up really good. I can put that on as a separate piece and paint that up separately, because the back of it I wouldn't be able to get to with the airbrush. There's not enough clearance in there. So that will go into my little collection for step 20. All right, which are all the little bits to go on after the main color's done. So what I'm going to do now, and I'll show you, is okay. So step 20's gone as far as we can go on there. Now over the page, we've got 21 is the tow rope or tow cable. That we do that after. At the moment, I want to look at getting all the bits on the tank itself, so I can get some paint on there. So the rope cable, no problem. We can leave that. Step 22. We're actually into attaching hull parts to part 2. There's the flare rack. So the flare rack, which goes in a little box that sits on the very, just on there, that can go on. So I can put that together, put that on. Also the spare tire racks that go either side, I can put those on as well. All right, now the rolled up tarp that's there. That needs to be painted separately along with the piece at the front there. So those I won't be putting on. So I'll skip those. But I'm going to make up that box now, put that, and we'll come back as I'm fitting them. Going over further over the page to step 23 is lots of things. There's an axe to go on there. There's another bit of track. This is going on the front of the tank here. There's all these other little tools here and hooks. So again, stuff that will go on after. Okay, although there is something there, E1. Let me just see what that is. Oh, okay, so the guards have more of those little pivot things, so they can probably go on. That's not a problem. All right, and then we go down to step 24, and there's a stowage box, which can't go on. That needs to be painted. That needs to be separate. There's a couple of hatches in the front here, which are these ones on here, and they can go straight on, no problem at all. Just looking at the way it's showing, attaches shown, should be all right. Oh, and that's right, because this is tank A. All right, tank B, straight up there. All right, so tank B, the Russian front one, doesn't have the tarps and the stowage box by the looks of it either. But my one will, so I'll do all of that. And then after that, we're heading up into building the turret. Oh, the actual gun, the main gun. There's gun 1, gun 2, gun 3. So these are all made up individually. There's gun 4 here. I didn't realise there's so many guns on here. Is it all for the same? Yeah, it's for the both versions. And then it goes on to the turret. Putting the turret together there. And then turret 2 is pretty much attaching stuff to the turret. I'm wondering whether I should go so far as putting the turret together and all the parts to it. Maybe. I'll have to check. Yeah. In which case, we'll have to wait before we paint even longer, because I'll need to paint that as well. Yeah. All right. Okay, you got that? Time goes quick, doesn't it? We're up into 50 odd minutes already. Wow. All right. So I will now put those hatches on, or get those hatches off the sprue and put together the stowage box. I suppose I can put that together. Doesn't have to go on. Yeah, there's even a piece underneath that box that needs to be painted. Don't know why. Anyway, that's fine. Yeah. All right, got that. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, back again. So I've progressed a little bit here. I'm just going to show you. So from step 22, I built the flare rack and installed it on the back there. Okay, at first I was wondering underneath there why you can see the flares underneath but not on the top. And then of course I realized that lid must pop open for the flares to fire up. So I popped that on there. I did have to make sure before I put it on that I had room in here, because this is where the cable is going to wrap around, and there is enough room to put the cable which is supplied, and that's it here. There it is there, and there's plenty of room to position it, so that's fine. So I've glued that on. That's done. think I told you I did the racks for the wheels. As we go towards the front here, I put these front hatches on. Now what I nearly did wrong was this one. I didn't leave it open. I was almost going to glue it closed. Because if you look in the picture, and you just see bang, bang. Looks pretty simple. Just put them down on there, eh? But when you look closely at it, this one is actually forward. And then when you look at here, it tells you attach as shown, and you can see that it's forward and level. And another thing to watch out, this is because of the northern Egyptian tank, sorry, the German one you don't worry about, they're both closed. Not German, the Russian, one for the Russian front, they're both closed in that. And I'm guessing that the Russian front one means you don't have your figures on it. And I think Simon's doing the Russian one. So I hope he realizes that I don't think it's supposed to show the figures. Anyway, if you're listening there, Hibbo, better check on that. So anyway, what I've done is worked out fine. This is the one that had the platform underneath where the figure will go, which I think is the driver in the front there. So I positioned the hatch as it said open. But not just open, you have to make sure that is really level, because I looked further in the instructions and there will be a spare piece of track that will sit under there. So you want to make sure that it's going to clear that. It doesn't show you on here because you haven't put the track on yet, but basically you need to keep that level. Don't have it sitting down on the deck. See, I don't want it touching the top of there. I called it a deck, I guess that is, but yeah, so it needs to be level. So that's done. Oh, and I also put this little piece on here. I'm not sure what that is on top of the guard there, but I put that on, and I put these little two pieces on the inside there. So that's done. And so where I'm at now is pretty much, that's it. There's nothing else to put on here. This will get sprayed as is with everything that's on it as it is. Going over the page is starting on the guns. Now, I'd love to paint this now, and I'd like to paint the hull as well as this upper hull, but we got to do the turret. It's a bit further on yet, but the turret needs to be built up as well. And really, even though I'm using the tan, I'm going to be using a dark grey, I'm going to be using undercoat, I want to do it all at once. You know, I want to do all these sections at the one time. I don't want to paint the hull today, which I could do, and then 3 or 4 days later paint the upper hull. You know what I mean? I want to get that consistency across the whole thing, so I want it all painted on the same day, which is why this is now going into the box. I'll put it in like that. In the box, put away with our hull ready to be painted. Okay, and now it'll be a case of moving on. Now, of course, there's all these other little bits as well. That'll all have to be painted up. Now, I'm not too concerned about these small pieces. I can paint them anytime, at least undercoat. Now, I suppose I could undercoat everything else as well, but I'm happy to wait. Okay, so I'm still working on my test. In fact, here it is here. This should be all right to test now. So there's the spoon that's got the final coat of what the tank's going to look like. Looking really nice. And with our dot of liquid mask, which I'm doing a test to make sure it doesn't lift off that color, because under that color is the hairspray for the chipping. All right. So let's see if we can peel this off now and not do any damage, hey? Okay, so it's definitely dry. Move this over so you focus properly. Okay, so let me take this off. Peel this off. Look at this. Look at that. It's off. There's nothing underneath, which is good. There's a slight ring around the outside, but that's fine because that's going to just cause a bit of depth of field. So the idea will be to use that liquid mask on the center of this roller, for example, and the wheel. Well, that's the wheel, and then we've got the smaller rollers. So that went really well. I'm happy with that. Yep, so there we go. It didn't do anything. Very good. You can see the mark there a little bit, but it didn't lip paint off. So it's very nice. All right. Okay. So now, what was I going to do? Oh, yeah. I'm going to take a bit of a break. I'm going to look at these guns. Need to put all those together. There's a few colors to be painted on those too. Looks like these look okay. The first 1, 2, 3 guns. Fourth gun has some color. And we go over the page, and there's our turret to begin. That's good. All right. Okay, so it's been an hour in this video. Gosh, the time goes quick. Real quick. Don't seem to get much done, but I am getting done. It's progressing through. Let me know what you think. You know, am I doing this okay? Am I doing it right? You know, I know a lot of people just put the whole thing together and spray them, but I don't mind being a bit meticulous. And like I just mentioned before too, I could undercoat a lot of this stuff too if I wanted. I'll see what the weather's like, and I might throw some undercoat primer on them. Yeah, that might be an idea. Other than that, hey guys, thanks again for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that like button for the thumbs up, and comment below. Comments are welcome. I like to see your comments and your ideas and tips. And let me know if you've built this tank or if you're planning to it. I know Jim over there in Thailand, he's bought the tank, and I think he messaged me the other day and it's been delivered. So he's ordered his paints, so he's going to start working on it. And hopefully I've given a few ideas of the way I'm doing it, because I don't think he's built a tank either before. It's his first tank. Yeah. All right, so excellent. Thanks for watching. This was part 4 of the group build, and I'll see you all in part 5. All right, see you soon. Bye.